Did you know that within you lies a dormant power capable of expanding your consciousness and revealing profound truths about life and the universe? In this video, we explore a hidden and remarkably effective method to instantly awaken your third eye, inspired by the teachings of Carl Jung. Discover how to activate this powerful tool of perception and connect with a deeper dimension of your being. Get ready for a spiritual transformation that will elevate you to new heights of clarity and wisdom. Don't miss it. The concept of the third eye is an ancient symbol found in various spiritual and religious traditions, from Hinduism and Buddhism to Western mysticism. It is represented as an additional eye located at the center of the forehead, just above the eyebrows, and is believed to be the point of access to higher perception and spiritual wisdom. This eye is not physical in the traditional sense, but represents the ability to perceive reality in a deeper and more intuitive way. The pineal gland, a small structure in the brain, is often associated with the third eye, and it is said that its activation allows individuals to see beyond material reality and experience a more direct connection with the universe. Why is this concept important in the first place? The third eye symbolizes the transcendence of ordinary perception. In our daily lives, we rely heavily on our 5 physical senses to interpret the world around us. However, these perceptions are often limited by our past experiences, beliefs, and conditioning. The third eye, on the other hand, invites us to move beyond these limitations and experience reality in a more holistic and intuitive way. It allows us to access inner wisdom that is not based on logical reasoning, but on deep knowledge and instant understanding of universal truths. The importance of awakening the third eye lies in its ability to transform our life experience. By activating this center of perception, we are able to see connections and meanings that were previously hidden. This not only enhances our intuition and decision-making abilities, but also helps us better understand ourselves and others. Awakening the third eye can lead to greater empathy and compassion as we begin to perceive the emotions and thoughts of others more clearly and deeply. Furthermore, it can help us connect with our creativity and unlock talents and skills we didn't know we had. The practice of opening the third eye has been explored by many spiritual teachers and philosophers throughout history, including those in the Jungian tradition. Jung, although not specifically referring to the third eye in his work, extensively discussed the importance of integrating the unconscious parts of our psyche to achieve greater wholeness and self-realization. This process, which he called individuation, is analogous to awakening. The pineal gland has been revered in many cultures as the seat of the soul or the portal to the third eye. This small structure, located at the center of the brain, has fascinated philosophers, scientists, and mystics for centuries. From the ancient teachings of Hindu and Egyptian cultures, it has been said that the pineal is key to accessing higher dimensions of reality and perceiving more subtle energies. In the modern world, this gland remains a subject of interest not only for spiritual sciences, but also for biology and neuroscience. Carl Jung, although he did not specifically mention the pineal gland in his work, dedicated much of his career to exploring how the internal energies he called psychic energy influence our perceptions and experiences. Jung postulated that the human unconscious has its own energy that flows similarly to how physical energy flows in the body. This psychic energy is responsible for our thoughts, emotions, and dreams, and is key to understanding how we interact with the world around us. The awakening of the third eye, in part, involves the activation of the pineal gland, which is linked to the production of melatonin, a hormone that regulates sleep and wake cycles. In spiritual practices, it is believed that the pineal also produces other substances that help elevate consciousness, such as dimethyltryptamine, DMT, a psychoactive compound some believe is responsible for mystical experiences and visions. The activation of the pineal allows us to tune into energy frequencies that we would not normally perceive, helping us see beyond the immediate physical reality and access a deeper level of consciousness. In addition to its role in physical biology, the pineal gland is often associated with spiritual energy and intuition in yogic traditions, such as the Ajna, or sixth chakra, the center of higher mind and extrasensory perception. It is said that when the pineal gland is active and balanced, it allows the third eye to open, facilitating the perception of more subtle realities and energies that are normally beyond the reach of the 5 senses. In his work, Jung explored the relationship between consciousness and the unconscious, suggesting that much of what we experience in our daily lives is only a fraction of total reality. Just as the awakening of the third eye opens a new way of perceiving the world, Jung believed that accessing the collective unconscious allows us to see beyond our limited conscious perception. By doing so, we are able to access archetypal patterns and universal truths that enrich our understanding of life and connect us to something greater than ourselves. Jung dedicated his life to exploring the mysteries of the mind and the human soul. Although he did not speak directly about the third eye in spiritual terms, many of the principles and practices he promoted are deeply aligned with the process of awakening this higher center of perception. For Jung, the awakening of greater consciousness, what we might call opening the third eye, involved a process of confronting the unconscious, recognizing archetypes, and integrating the shadows. One of the most important methods Jung used to access the deeper levels of the psyche was active imagination. This technique, according to Jung, allowed individuals to directly engage with the images of the unconscious. During active imagination, the individual enters a meditative or introspective state and allows images and symbols to emerge without censorship or analysis. Jung believed that these images contained deep truths about the individual and the world, and that interacting with them was a way to expand consciousness. This process is similar to what many spiritual traditions teach in awakening the third eye. In practices like meditation, for example, the visualization of the space between the eyebrows and concentration on that point is encouraged to activate the energy center of the third eye. Both in Jung's active imagination and in Eastern spiritual practices, the goal is the same: to access a source of internal knowledge that transcends the rational mind and connects the individual with a broader reality. For Jung, working with dreams was also key to accessing the unconscious. In his work, Man and His Symbols, Jung explains how dreams reveal the internal processes that occur beyond the mind. These processes, often represented by archetypal symbols, are expressions of deep truths waiting to be discovered. Similarly, the awakening of the third eye involves paying attention to the subtle signs of the unconscious and using those signs to guide the process of self-awareness. Jung also promoted individuation, the process by which a person becomes what they truly are, by integrating all aspects of their being, both conscious and unconscious. In this sense, awakening the third eye is not just a spiritual act, but also a step toward greater completeness and authenticity. By confronting and embracing our shadows, the aspects of ourselves that we usually repress, we can access a clearer and more balanced view of our lives. This process of individuation is similar to the process of opening the third eye, in which one must face the illusions of the ego and the limitations of the mind in order to access a deeper truth. It is important to note that Jung did not see the awakening of consciousness as an easy or immediate process. It required patience, courage, and a continual commitment to self-knowledge. Likewise, awakening the third eye is not something that happens overnight. It is a gradual process that involves regular spiritual practices, introspection, and mental openness. The rewards, however, are profound. Greater intuition, a clearer perception of the energies around us, and a deeper connection with the whole of the universe. The awakening of the third eye is not just a mystical or philosophical process. It is a practice that can be cultivated with discipline and focus. Spiritual traditions that teach the activation of this center of perception agree that it requires a combination of specific mental and physical techniques. Some of these practices include meditation, the use of mantras, controlled breathing, and visualization. One of the most popular techniques for opening the third eye is focused meditation on the ajna, or third eye chakra. This practice begins by sitting in a comfortable posture, closing your eyes, and focusing your attention on the area between the eyebrows where the third eye is said to reside. By concentrating your mind on this area, you may begin to feel a slight pressure or vibration, which indicates that you are activating this area of higher perception. It is important to keep the mind calm and focused, free from distractions, allowing energy to flow into that area. A key aspect of this meditation is visualization. During the practice, visualize a bright light or a luminous eye in the center of your forehead. Imagine that this light becomes brighter and clearer with each breath, as if you are igniting the inner eye. As you deepen into the visualization, allow any images or thoughts that arise to flow freely without trying to control them. Jung referred to a similar process in his active imagination technique, where the unconscious projects symbolic images that reveal deep truths about the individual. Another complementary technique is the use of mantras. In Eastern traditions, it is believed that certain sacred words or sounds can help open the energy centers in the body, including the chakras. The mantra most commonly associated with the third eye is the sound Om, considered the primordial sound of the universe. Repeating this mantra aloud or mentally during meditation can help tune the mind and body to the vibrations of the third eye. The vibrations of Om resonate in the skull, stimulating the pineal gland and facilitating the opening of the third eye. In addition to meditation and mantras, breath control is fundamental for awakening the third eye. A popular technique is alternate nostril breathing, known in yoga as Nadi Shodhana. This practice involves inhaling and exhaling alternately through one nostril, which balances the energies in both hemispheres of the brain and stimulates the pineal gland. Controlled breathing not only calms the mind but also helps to unlock the energy channels, allowing energy to flow toward the third eye. It is important to note that the awakening of the third eye is not a sudden or spectacular experience for most people. Instead of an instantaneous explosion of visions or intuitions, the process is usually gradual, allowing perception to expand little by little. Some may begin to notice small changes, such as greater mental clarity, sharper intuition, or the ability to perceive subtle energies in their surroundings. Over time, these changes can accumulate and lead to a deeper transformation in the way one experiences reality. Working with the third eye is not limited to meditation, but can be integrated into daily life. The practice of mindfulness is another effective way to strengthen the third eye. By being present in each moment and paying attention to thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment, one develops a greater perception of both internal and external realities. This awakened state of awareness reinforces the connection with the third eye, allowing intuition to guide daily decisions. As you practice these techniques, it is crucial to maintain an attitude of openness and curiosity. The awakening of the third eye is not a mechanical process. It involves a deep interaction with your inner self and the energies surrounding you. Carl Jung emphasized the importance of confronting the unconscious aspects of our psyche in order to achieve greater consciousness, and this principle also applies to working with the third eye. Through constant practice, self-knowledge, and self-acceptance, the third eye gradually opens, allowing for a deeper connection with intuition and the universe. One of the most important benefits of opening the third eye is the development of more powerful and accurate intuition. Intuition is the ability to know something without consciously reasoning it, a kind of instant knowing that comes from a deeper level of the mind. Carl Jung, in his theory of psychological types, identified intuition as one of the four main functions of the human psyche, alongside thinking, feeling, and sensation. In the context of the third eye, intuition is amplified as one tunes into the subtle energies that flow through life. When the third eye is active, intuition stops being an occasional flash and becomes a constant and reliable tool for guiding our decisions. Intuitive perception is not limited to understanding the emotions or thoughts of others. It also encompasses the ability to sense the energies present in situations and environments. This means that people with an open third eye can read between the lines, detect patterns that are not obvious, and anticipate the outcomes of certain actions or decisions without the need for logical analysis. The power of unlocked intuition goes beyond mere perception. It also influences decision-making and the ability to recognize opportunities that might otherwise be overlooked. As intuition develops, decisions are made more easily and with greater confidence, as they are based on a deeper and more holistic understanding of the situation. People with an awakened third eye tend to feel more certain about their choices, as they trust that they are aligned with their inner self and the natural flow of life. In addition, the awakening of intuition also has implications for creative life. Often, creativity does not arise from a rational process, but from a deep connection with the intuitive source. By opening the third eye, creativity flows more freely, allowing ideas to emerge effortlessly. Artists, writers, and musicians often describe moments of inspiration as if they are connected to something beyond themselves, a current of creativity that seems to flow through them. This creative state reflects the power of the third eye to unlock intuition and imagination. Another area in which unlocked intuition has a great impact is in interpersonal relationships. When the third eye is active, a greater sensitivity toward the emotions and energies of others develops. This does not mean reading minds, but rather sensing subtle nonverbal cues, such as body language or emotional tone, indicating what is truly happening in another person's psyche. This heightened empathy allows for more authentic and profound communication, which in turn strengthens relationships and creates a deeper understanding between individuals. In the spiritual realm, the power of unlocked intuition enables individuals to navigate their life path with a greater sense of purpose and alignment. Intuition acts as an internal compass, guiding the person toward decisions and actions that are in harmony with their true self, rather than being influenced by external expectations or social pressures. Those with an awakened third eye trust their intuition to make choices that bring them closer to their life purpose and spiritual growth. One of the most fascinating phenomena that accompanies the awakening of the third eye is the experience of synchronicity. This concept, introduced by Carl Jung, describes events that occur simultaneously in a meaningful way, even though they are not connected by a direct causal relationship. Jung defined synchronicity as a meaningful coincidence of two or more events in which something more than random probability is involved. In other words, synchronicity occurs when life seems to align in a mysterious way to reveal a hidden truth or meaning. The awakening of the third eye sharpens our perception of these synchronicities. When this center of higher perception is active, it is as if we begin to see the hidden patterns underlying the events of our lives. Through this new perspective, we recognize that coincidences are not mere accidents, but reflections of a greater order, a universal design that connects everything that happens. Synchronicities are often signals that we are aligned with our spiritual path, or that we need to pay attention to certain aspects of our life that we have been ignoring. A common example of synchronicity is when you think of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and suddenly you receive a call or a message from that person, or when you find the perfect book that answers an important question just when you need it. These experiences, when the third eye is active, are seen as more than mere coincidences. Instead, they are interpreted as messages from the universe, subtle guides leading you toward a greater spiritual awakening. Synchronicity is more likely to occur during periods of transformation, such as when we are experiencing profound changes in our life, whether emotional, professional, or spiritual. Jung observed that synchronicities tend to manifest when our psyche is in transition, such as during psychotherapy, spiritual work, or times of intense creativity. This makes sense, as when the third eye is activated, we are not only opening our perception to new dimensions, but also unlocking internal energies that influence the flow of our external life. In the context of the third eye, synchronicity is not just an interesting phenomenon, but also a confirmation that you are in tune with the universe. As you develop your intuitive and spiritual perception, you become more sensitive to the subtle energies that guide your life. These energies manifest as synchronicities, showing you that there is purpose and intention behind what may seem random. It is as if the universe is sending signals to help you make decisions or remind you that you are not alone on your spiritual journey. A fascinating aspect of synchronicity is its ability to create new connections between the inner and outer worlds. When the third eye is awake, we begin to see that what happens in our mind, our thoughts, emotions, and dreams, is not separate from the external world. In fact, what occurs in our psyche is reflected in external events, and vice versa. This perception of unity between the internal and external is an essential part of spiritual awakening. It is the recognition that everything is interconnected, and that our actions, thoughts, and emotions have an impact on the fabric of reality. In daily life, paying attention to synchronicities can help you make wiser decisions that are aligned with your life purpose. If you start noticing repetitive patterns or coincidences that seem to have special significance, it is likely that your third eye is awakening and that the universe is trying to communicate something important. Listening to these signs can help you trust your intuition more and make decisions based on a deeper understanding of your environment and circumstances. However, it is important not to become obsessed with seeking synchronicities. Often, these experiences occur when we are open and receptive, not when we are actively searching for signs in every corner. Just like with the process of awakening the third eye, it is necessary to have an attitude of openness and patience. Synchronicities will come at the right time, and when they do, they will be confirmation that you are on the right path. The path to awakening the third eye is not without challenges. In fact, many people encounter obstacles and blockages that prevent this energy center from fully opening. These obstacles can arise on both a physical and emotional level, and it is crucial to be aware of them in order to overcome them and continue with the awakening process. One of the most common obstacles is fear. Opening the third eye means confronting aspects of reality and oneself that can be uncomfortable or even terrifying. When we activate this higher perception center, we begin to see beyond appearances and realize deeper truths about our lives and the world around us. For some people, this can be overwhelming. The fear of the unknown, of losing control, or of confronting the shadows of the psyche can cause many to retreat just when they are on the verge of a significant spiritual breakthrough. Carl Jung warned about the danger of ignoring the shadows of our psyche, those hidden aspects of our personality that we prefer not to see. According to Jung, what we do not consciously face in our mind manifests in our life as destiny. In the context of the third eye, this means that if we are not willing to look inside ourselves and confront our shadows, we are likely to experience blockages on our path toward awakening. Fear is a natural barrier, but it is also an indicator that we are approaching something deep. By facing these fears with courage and openness, we can overcome the blockages and allow the third eye to open more fully. Another common obstacle is skepticism. Many people, especially those with a highly logical and rational mindset, may struggle to accept the concept of the third eye or trust in intuitive experiences. We live in a society that values what is tangible and verifiable, and the third eye, being related to the subtle and the invisible, can seem like fantasy to those who rely solely on logic. This skepticism can create a blockage, as the awakening of the third eye requires an open mind willing to explore the unknown. Jung faced this same skepticism in his time. His focus on dreams, symbols, and the unconscious was seen by some of his contemporaries as unscientific or irrational. However, Jung argued that true wisdom could not be attained solely through logic and intellect, but also required an openness to the irrational and the mysterious. In the same way, to open the third eye, one must be willing to put aside doubts and embrace the possibility that there are aspects of reality that cannot be understood through rational thought alone. Another significant obstacle in the awakening of the third eye is the excess of mental and emotional stimulation. In our modern life, we are constantly bombarded with information, images, and stimuli that overload our minds. This creates mental noise that can block the third eye, preventing us from accessing deeper levels of consciousness. The opening of the third eye requires mental calm and clarity, but if we are constantly distracted or stressed, it will be difficult for this energy center to activate fully. To overcome this obstacle, it is essential to practice regular meditation and breath control. These techniques help calm the mind and reduce mental noise, creating an internal space in which the third eye can flourish. Meditation not only relaxes the body and mind, but also helps train concentration, which is crucial for focusing attention on the third eye during spiritual practices. The practice of conscious breathing, as mentioned in yogic traditions, balances energies in the body, creating the right conditions for awakening. Finally, it is important to mention attachment to the ego as a significant obstacle. The third eye represents the ability to see beyond the individual self, connecting us with a broader and more universal truth. However, the ego, the part of us that clings to our identity, achievements, and roles, can resist this type of expansion. The ego does not want to let go of control or accept that there is a reality beyond its limited perspective. This resistance can block the third eye, keeping us trapped in a narrow view of reality. To free the third eye from the ego's blockages, it is necessary to practice humility and detachment. Jung taught us that the process of individuation, or the realization of the whole self, requires a balance between the forces of the ego and the unconscious. Recognizing that we are not the center of the universe, and that we are part of a larger network of energies and connections, is a fundamental step in the process of opening the third eye. The awakening of the third eye not only has spiritual and energetic implications, but also offers profoundly transformative psychological and emotional benefits. As this higher perception center activates, one may experience greater mental clarity, a better understanding of oneself, and a deeper connection with one's emotions. These internal changes can significantly impact how you live your daily life, how you relate to others, and how you manage emotional challenges. One of the most obvious benefits is greater mental clarity. By opening the third eye, you develop a sharper ability to see things as they are, without being clouded by judgments, biases, or the illusions of the ego. This translates into clearer perception of situations, enabling you to make wiser and more balanced decisions, rather than being swayed by emotions or confused thoughts. You become more able to observe events from a more detached perspective, seeing the connections between your actions, emotions, and the outcomes in your life. This clarity also affects how you process your emotions. When the third eye is awake, you can see your emotions more objectively without getting trapped in them. This does not mean you become insensitive or distant, rather you become more aware of what is truly happening within you. Instead of being swept away by waves of anger, sadness, or fear, you can observe those emotions, understand where they come from, and manage them in a more constructive way. Jung referred to this process as the integration of the shadows, those hidden and repressed aspects of our psyche that, when confronted and understood, can be transformed. As your emotional perception sharpens, you also develop greater empathy. By being more in tune with your own emotions and inner energies, you become more sensitive to the emotional states of others. This heightened empathy is not merely an increase in emotional sensitivity, but a deeper understanding of what others are experiencing on an energetic level. Rather than reacting to people's words or behaviors superficially, you can feel what is truly happening within them. This improves your personal relationships as you can offer support and understanding in a more compassionate and authentic way. Another important emotional benefit is the development of self-compassion. As the third eye opens, you begin to see not only others with greater clarity and empathy, but also yourself. You become more aware of your own emotional patterns, both positive and negative, and can face them without judgment. This ability to see yourself with compassion is crucial for personal growth. Rather than punishing yourself for your mistakes or weaknesses, you learn to accept yourself as you are, understanding that we are all beings in constant evolution. Jung emphasized the importance of integrating all aspects of the self, including those that we consider negative or undesirable. This process of integration is a key component of the awakening of the third eye. In psychological terms, the awakening of the third eye is also related to the process of individuation described by Jung. Individuation is the process of becoming oneself, of integrating all parts of the psyche to achieve wholeness. As the third eye opens, you begin to see the patterns of your life from a broader perspective, allowing you to better understand your motivations, desires, and internal blockages. This process leads you to a state of greater self-awareness, where you can identify what truly drives you and make decisions aligned with your most authentic self. An additional effect of the awakening of the third eye is the ability to overcome limiting thought patterns. Throughout our lives, many of us have been conditioned to think in ways that limit our potential. Beliefs like, "I'm not good enough" or "I can't change my life" are examples of mental patterns that prevent us from reaching our goals and living a fulfilling life. When the third eye is activated, you become more aware of these patterns, which allows you to challenge them and free yourself from them. Rather than getting trapped in negative or limiting thoughts, you begin to see new possibilities and paths that you hadn't considered before. Moreover, the third eye has a significant impact on creativity. By awakening this center of perception, you connect with deeper levels of intuition and imagination, enabling you to access ideas and creative solutions that go beyond logical thinking. This flow of creativity is not only useful for artists or writers, but for anyone who wishes to approach life with a more open and flexible mind. Creativity, in this sense, is not just about producing art, but about finding new ways to solve problems, seeing the world differently, and living your life more expansively. Finally, the awakening of the third eye has a direct impact on your emotional balance. As you become more aware of your emotions and learn to manage them more effectively, you experience less emotional reactivity and more inner peace. The third eye allows you to see beyond immediate circumstances and understand the broader cycles of life. This gives you a greater sense of stability and calm, even amidst challenges or uncertainty. Instead of reacting impulsively to difficulties, you can take a more thoughtful and balanced approach, which allows you to navigate situations with greater wisdom and resilience. One of the greatest gifts of the awakening of the third eye is the ability to experience and understand universal interconnectedness. This is a central aspect of spiritual awakening and represents one of the deepest ways in which the third eye transforms our perception of reality. As you open this energy center, you no longer see the world as a series of disconnected events, but as an interconnected whole, where every action, thought, and emotion influences the rest of the universe. Universal interconnectedness refers to the idea that all beings and things are connected by an invisible web of energies and forces. Although this notion has been part of spiritual traditions for thousands of years, the awakening of the third eye allows you to experience this interconnectedness in a direct and tangible way. Carl Jung, through his study of synchronicity and archetypes, also explored this concept, suggesting that there are underlying patterns connecting all of humanity through the collective unconscious. This network of shared symbols and experiences is a manifestation of universal interconnectedness, which becomes clearer as the third eye opens. When the third eye is awake, you begin to perceive the world as a unified whole. You no longer see yourself as a separate individual, but as part of a greater system. This may manifest in small ways, such as greater empathy toward others, and in deeper ways, such as a sense of unity with nature and the cosmos. The third eye allows this understanding to go beyond being just a philosophical idea and becomes a lived experience. When interacting with others or your environment, you feel a deep connection, as if all things are inherently intertwined. This sense of interconnectedness also has significant implications for how you live your daily life. Once you experience this broader reality, you become more conscious of how your actions and thoughts affect not only yourself but also others and the world around you. This awareness generates greater responsibility and care toward other beings, as you understand that everything is connected. The way you treat others, how you relate to nature, and even the thoughts you harbor within you all have an impact on the whole. This awakening of ecological and social consciousness is one of the ways in which the third eye broadens your perspective and transforms your life. In addition to connecting with other beings, the third eye allows you to see beyond the physical reality and experience more subtle dimensions of existence. This means that you can perceive energies that were previously invisible to you. Some people experience this as greater sensitivity to the emotional vibrations of others, while others develop the ability to feel energy in places or situations. This type of perception is not just a sixth sense, but a natural extension of your consciousness that arises when the third eye is active. The third eye also helps you see the hidden reality behind appearances. Many times, what we perceive with our five senses is only a small part of what is really happening in the world. Appearances can be deceiving because they are influenced by our beliefs, prejudices, and past experiences. However, when the third eye awakens, you can see through these illusions and grasp the deeper truths underlying each situation. This ability to see the hidden reality allows people with an awakened third eye to make decisions that are more aligned with their purpose and understand situations in a deeper way. A fascinating aspect of this ability is that it not only affects the way you perceive the external world, but also how you perceive yourself. The third eye allows you to see beyond the masks you have built throughout your life and confront your true self. This means you can see both your hidden strengths and the parts of yourself that you have repressed or denied. This revelation can be uncomfortable at first, but it is a crucial step in the process of self-awareness and spiritual growth. Seeing the hidden reality of your own being gives you the opportunity to integrate all aspects of yourself, allowing for greater inner harmony. This sense of interconnectedness and perception of the hidden also extends to spiritual levels. When the third eye opens, it is common for individuals to experience a greater connection to the divine or to a higher power. For some, this manifests as a greater understanding of spiritual mysteries, while others may experience moments of ecstasy or profound revelations during meditation or prayer. In any case, the awakening of the third eye expands your ability to connect with the spirit and experience unity with the universe in a more direct way. The awakening of the third eye is not an event that happens instantly. For most people, It is a gradual process that requires time, patience, and dedication. Like any other deep spiritual practice, activating the third eye is not something that can be accelerated through sheer willpower or excessive effort. Instead of seeking quick results, it is essential to adopt an attitude of trust in the process and allow the awakening to occur naturally and organically. One of the greatest challenges on this path is impatience. We live in a society that values instant gratification and rapid productivity. We are accustomed to getting what we want immediately, and this can lead to frustration when we don't experience an immediate awakening of the third eye. However, unlike many goals in life, this type of spiritual development requires us to detach from the outcome and simply focus on the process itself. As Carl Jung explained in his work on individuation, the journey towards self-knowledge and the realization of the complete self is a long and ongoing process. It is important to remember that each person has their own pace in the awakening of the third eye. There is no fixed timeline or magical formula that guarantees immediate results. Some people may experience small insights or intuitions soon after starting their practice, while for others the process may take months or even years. This individual pace depends on many factors, including personal beliefs, emotional openness, mental noise, and overall energetic balance. One of the most valuable aspects of this process is the development of patience. Patience is an essential virtue on any spiritual path, and in the context of the awakening of the third eye, it is a powerful tool that helps us stay centered and focused on our practice, even when results are not immediate. Through patience, we learn to trust divine timing and accept that everything happens when it is meant to happen, neither before nor after. This attitude of trust and surrender is crucial for releasing expectations and allowing the awakening to occur naturally. To cultivate patience during this process, it is helpful to focus on the here and now. Often, the desire to awaken the third eye arises from a need to achieve something in the future, to reach an advanced spiritual state, or to gain a new perceptual ability. However, this focus on the future can take us away from the present, where true growth occurs. Carl Jung reminded us that the real work of self-knowledge does not happen at some distant point in time, but in every moment we live consciously. Therefore, each meditation, each conscious breath, and each moment of internal reflection is an essential part of the process, even if we do not see immediate results. Additionally, it is important to remember that the process of awakening the third eye is not linear. There may be times when you feel you are making great progress, followed by periods when it seems as though nothing is happening. This is completely normal. Spiritual growth often occurs in cycles, with moments of advancement and periods of pause. These periods of stillness are as important as those of activity, as they allow us to integrate the lessons we've learned and prepare for the next stage of awakening. Just like in nature, growth is not always visible on the surface, but that doesn't mean it isn't happening at deeper levels. Another important tool for trusting the process is maintaining a regular spiritual practice. Consistency is key to opening the third eye. Practices such as meditation, visualization, conscious breathing, and mindfulness not only help calm the mind but also prepare the ground for the third eye to awaken naturally. Although you may feel that you're not making visible progress, each meditation session brings you one step closer to awakening, and over time these small steps add up to significant change. Carl Jung also emphasized the importance of keeping an open and receptive mind during the process of self-knowledge. Just as with the awakening of the third eye, if we hold on too tightly to our expectations or believe that the process should unfold in a particular way, we may block our own progress. Instead, it is essential to be open to the unexpected and to the revelations that may arise, even if they don't align with what we had imagined. Spiritual awakening, and particularly the awakening of the third eye, often brings experiences and perceptions that are beyond the reach of logical thought. The willingness to embrace these experiences with an open mind is crucial to moving forward. The awakening of the third eye is much more than an isolated spiritual experience. It is a deep journey into self-knowledge, the expansion of consciousness, and connection with the universe. Throughout this journey, we have explored the fundamental aspects of the third eye, from its association with the pineal gland and psychic energy to its role in developing intuition and perceiving universal interconnectedness. We've seen how this center of perception can transform your life by allowing you to see beyond appearances, connect with subtle energies, and experience synchronicities that guide you toward your spiritual purpose. Patience and trust are two of the most essential elements in this process. As we've discussed, the awakening of the third eye is not an instant event. It unfolds gradually, requiring commitment and the willingness to release control, letting transformation occur naturally. Through practices like meditation, mindfulness, and other spiritual techniques, you create a receptive inner space that supports the opening of this energy center, allowing your intuition and mental clarity to blossom. Awakening the third eye sparks profound emotional and psychological transformation. As you connect with your inner self and cultivate deeper empathy for others, you undergo emotional growth that helps you navigate life's challenges with greater balance and understanding. The activation of the third eye enhances self-compassion, sharpens intuition, and unveils hidden truths about reality. But perhaps the most powerful reward is the experience of universal interconnectedness. By realizing that all beings and events are deeply linked, you gain a greater sense of purpose and responsibility toward the world. This realization not only deepens your spiritual life, but also alters the way you interact with others and the environment. It's important to remember that the path to awakening the third eye is deeply personal and unique to each individual. There is no right or wrong way to experience it. Each journey is different. The key is to approach it with openness, curiosity, and trust, allowing the third eye to awaken naturally and organically. Ultimately, the awakening of the third eye opens the door to a heightened state of consciousness, a more fulfilling life, and a deeper connection to the universe. It is a transformative journey that, though challenging, offers remarkable rewards to those who embark on it with dedication and humility. Are you ready to begin this journey and unlock the power within you? The third eye is waiting to be awakened, and once it is, your life will never be the same.